Dakota Ditcheva has quickly become the PFL's golden girl, stacking dominant victories over some of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. With each win, she didn't just climb the rankings, she carved out a reputation as one of the most lethal forces in the women's flyweight division. Critics tried to dismiss her. She's just a Barbie, she should be a model. Well, that model just finished you in the second round. End of discussion. Still undefeated, the MMA champion now stands at 15-0 with 13 knockouts to her name. These aren't just wins, they're career-altering performances, and here are some of the most frightening finishes that cemented her rise. On May 25, 2019, Levi Steedman entered the cage against Dakota Ditcheva, looking to build her amateur record. From the opening seconds, Dakota controlled the tempo, managing distance with sharp kicks that forced Levi wide. When Steedman shot for a takedown, Dakota answered with crushing knees to the body, a brutal reminder of who owned the cage. Levi couldn't escape the clinch, and Dakota made her pay for it, repeatedly driving knees into her body. Every attempt to slow the fight only made the damage worse. When they finally separated, Dakota snapped a kick to the face and followed it with a sharp combination. Desperate, Levi went back to the clinch, exactly where Dakota was most dangerous. Even Levi's takedown attempts backfired, with Dakota consistently ending up in the dominant position. Survival became Levi's only objective as the first round closed. In round 2, Levi tried to raise the pressure, but Dakota shut it down effortlessly. A rare, clean strike from Levi only ignited Dakota further. She responded by unleashing a storm of offense, punishing every clinch entry with ruthless precision. Levi eventually scored a strong takedown and earned brief control time, but once the fight returned to the feet, Dakota immediately resumed her assault. By round 3, both fighters showed caution, but Dakota knew she needed to close the show. She drove Levi backward, kept the pressure relentless, and when Levi made one mistake, leaving her neck exposed, Dakota seized the moment and secured the finish. After facing Dakota, Levi remained stuck at the lower levels of MMA, while Dakota continued her rapid ascent. On September 30, 2023, Dakota Ditcheva faced Cornelia Holm in the PFL semifinals. After a brief feeling out process, Holm shot for a takedown and managed to secure Dakota's back. Despite repeated attempts, Dakota struggled to shake her off. Eventually, Dakota trapped Holm's arm, turned the position, and began firing knees of her own. Once the referee warned them to stay active, Dakota flipped the switch and pressed forward. Holm immediately tried to drag the fight back to the cage, but Dakota knew she had to change the momentum. Toward the end of the round, Dakota finally took control, pinning Holm against the fence and landing punishing knees. Holm answered back, but the pace clearly favored Dakota. In round 2, Dakota adjusted perfectly, managing distance and breaking Holm down with clean, accurate strikes. A crushing right hand visibly rocked Holm, and Dakota sensed the opening. Holm had spent the entire first round draining herself in the clinch, and it showed.
After eating a kick to the face, Holm once again tried to force the clinch, but this time the referee refused to let her stall. Another takedown attempt was met with, once again, a sharp kick to the face, followed by immediate pressure from Dakota. Holm believed the ground was her safest option, but even there, Dakota remained in control, proving she was superior in every phase of the fight. After earning brief control time, Dakota waved Holm back to her feet, confident the fight belonged there. Within seconds, they were pressed against the cage again, but this time, Dakota locked onto Holm's neck and dictated the exchange. Holm survived into the third round and tried desperately to keep Dakota at bay, firing kicks from range. Dakota adjusted, stepped in on her own terms, and began dismantling Holm with precision. Front kicks, leg kicks, and clean combinations piled up as fatigue set in for both fighters. Then came the head kick. Holm was slowing, absorbing punishment from head to toe, and after a final combination to the chin followed by another crushing head kick, the fight was over. A third-round finish. PFL Europe Championship Final, December 8, 2023. Dakota Ditcheva next faced Valentina Scatizzi, who charged forward aggressively from the opening bell. Dakota immediately answered with sharp punches and kicks to the head and body. When Scatizzi refused to slow down, Dakota transitioned to the clinch and unleashed her trademark knees. Scatizzi attempted a takedown, but Dakota's defense kept the fight standing. Back in the center, Dakota took full control, breaking Scatizzi down with relentless pressure. Each clinch exchange favored Dakota, who punished her opponent with knees to the body and punches upstairs. As the fight wore on, Scatizzi was visibly exhausted. Dakota opened a deep cut around her eye with a clean punch in the clinch. Though Scatizzi attempted another takedown, she lacked the energy to capitalize. When the referee reset them, the damage to Scatizzi's eye was severe. Sensing the end, Dakota fired a head kick and followed with a crushing right hand. After the round, the doctor stepped in and stopped the fight. Dakota emerged untouched, crowned European champion and $100,000 richer. August 2, 2024, Dakota Ditcheva versus Jenna Bishop. The opening minutes saw both fighters cautiously feeling each other out. Dakota broke the stalemate with a sharp combination that shut down Bishop's forward movement. Bishop responded by charging with her head down, but Dakota punished the entry with clean counters. Bishop managed a takedown and tried to control the fight on the ground, but Dakota's constant movement and active striking prevented her from settling. After grinding against the cage, Dakota worked her way back to her feet and immediately reasserted control. When Bishop rushed again, her legs betrayed her and she collapsed to the canvas. Dakota waved her back up. She wanted the finish standing. One sharp strike sent Bishop down once more, and with a minute left in round 1, the referee stepped in to stop the fight. PFL Championship, November 29, 2024, Dakota Ditcheva versus Taila Santos. In the championship bout, Santos matched Dakota's early leg kicks and applied heavy pressure. Dakota responded by increasing her speed and timing, staying defensively sound while firing back with precision. Despite Santos' aggression, Dakota's defense held firm. On the ground, Dakota ended up on top, showing her composure in every position. Santos later secured a takedown and briefly took Dakota's back, but Dakota escaped cleanly, landing an elbow on the exit. As Santos began to slow, Dakota backed her to the cage with front kicks and landed a brutal right hand. A sharp head kick followed, and Dakota sensed. She poured on the pressure, dissecting Santos with strikes. In round 2, Santos struggled to keep pace. Dakota systematically broke her down, targeting openings with surgical accuracy. In the clinch, a crushing elbow stunned Santos, and moments later, Dakota unleashed a devastating barrage of elbows, knees, and body shots. Santos doubled over in pain, forcing the referee to intervene and stop the fight.